This is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and this is a ball that he's about to clobber to left field for a home run. Fast forward a year, and this is Vladimir Guerrero Jr., but this is a ball he's about to strike out on. In 2018, Vlad Jr. was known as the home run hitting superstar, posting insane numbers from day to day. But since entering the MLB, he hasn't been much more than a disappointment. Say what you want, but it's true. So what went wrong here? Well, I boiled it down to about 3 different possibilities for Vladimir Guerrero to bounce back in 2021. And in this video, I'll share them with you. It's no secret that Vlad Jr. hasn't been performing the way we hoped he would. His numbers have rapidly decreased. Every time he goes into a slump, it lasts longer and longer each time, and overall, he just hasn't been good. But in this video, I'll be sharing with you 3 different ways that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. could still bounce back and become a future All-Star, Silver Slugger, Home Run King, MVP, or even Hall of Famer. But to better understand this, I'll be putting hitters into 3 different categories. The first are called the bombers. They rely heavily on getting balls in the air and hitting them over the fence. The second category are the small ball hitters. They rely on other skills like speed and contact to get on base. And the final category are the 5-tool hitters. These hitters are usually the best hitters because unlike the other 2 categories, they don't rely on any specific skill. Take Billy Hamilton as an example. I'd say he pretty clearly relies on his speed to be a good baseball player. If his speed disappeared, then he wouldn't be very good. Now this is exactly Vladimir Guerrero's problem. He, as a power hitter, relies on getting balls in the air to hit home runs. But since entering the MLB in 2019, that's exactly what he's been struggling with. Now that is the first way that Vlad can bounce back. He needs to stop hitting the ball on the ground. At the beginning of the 2019 season, it seemed that all Vladimir Guerrero could do was hit ground balls. As a result, he batted just over 248. But after participating in the home run derby, it bumped up to 325. At the beginning of the season when he was batting 248, this was his down period. It's basically the worst he could be, and it's pretty much all he's been doing for 2 years now. But in that little streak where he was batting about 325, that was his potential. Hold on, let me say that again. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s potential is as a 325 power hitter. And remember, all he's got to do to reach that point is stop hitting the ball on the ground. So don't worry, Blue Jays fans. Vlad's still got some crazy potential. So that's the first way that Vladdy can bounce back in 2021. Simple as that, right? Right. But the second way he can bounce back might be even simpler. It's no secret that Vladdy's a little bit on the heavy side of things. And if you haven't noticed, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s weight is a pretty trending topic recently. As Vladdy's weight has gone up, his bat speed has gone down, and with it his stats. As a matter of fact, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. himself compared himself to some other young stars like Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Robert, and Pete Alonso, saying that the only way for him to get better is if he loses some weight. Over this offseason, Vladdy's already lost about 32 pounds. In fact, this alone could be the secret formula for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to become the king of the MLB. So those are the first 2 ways that Vladdy can bounce back. If he tackles both of them, then he'll be amazing. But if he can tackle the third, then he'll be even better. One key attribute that separates Vladimir Guerrero when he's in his prime and Vladimir Guerrero when he's in his slump is actually his discipline. It's not uncommon for rookies to experience discipline issues. All these players here have already experienced these issues and solved them. So how do you solve these problems? Well, to better understand that, let's compare Juan Soto with Fernando Tatis Jr. They may not seem too different on the outside, but these 2 players are actually very different. How are they different? Well, let's first take a look at Fernando Tatis Jr. I think we can all agree that Fernando Tatis is a very successful baseball player, but he's succeeding in a relatively understandable way, at least for a rookie. He hits a lot of home runs, strikes out a lot, and he's fast and aggressive around the base path. Not unlike most young stars. But Juan Soto, on the other hand, is very different. In case you don't remember, Juan Soto advanced rapidly throughout the Washington National system. But the one reason why Juan Soto was able to advance through the system so quickly was because he had the one attribute that all the young players lacked, and that was discipline. If you compare their minor league numbers, Juan Soto posted about a .434 on-base percentage, while Fernando Tatis only posted a .360 on-base percentage. As a result of this, Fernando Tatis spent a good time in AA, while Juan Soto only spent 8 games in AA. 8 games. When Vladdy was in AAA, he shared those same discipline numbers. But unlike Juan Soto, when he entered the MLB, he lost that discipline. If he can get that discipline back, it should bring down his strikeout rate, and therefore making him a better player. So now you're probably wondering why he has these problems. Well, the good news is that it's mostly his nerves or his mindset that's getting in his way, which means these problems will likely fade in time. Truth is, it shouldn't take long before Vladdy gets back on his feet and reaches his potential. His discipline, his weight, and his hitting the ball on the ground, they're all relatively easy fixes. As a matter of fact, Vladdy's already demolishing the ball in the winter leagues. He's already hit 2 home runs and he just keeps getting better. So in conclusion, I believe that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. will be the 2021 MVP champion. Thanks for watching, everybody, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Check out my last video at the top right, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!